morning, everyone, and welcome to the inaugural CITT Mobility Matters Awards program here at the Miami-Dade College Idea Center. My name is Javier Betancourt, and it is my pleasure to serve as your MC for today's program as we come together to recognize innovation, leadership, and partnership in mobility and transportation across Miami-Dade County. Before I begin, I want to thank Miami's community newspapers. I want to thank Miami-Dade College for hosting us and their president for giving the keynote speech in just a couple of minutes. To Miguel Murphy, who is not only an executive here at Miami-Dade College, but one of our CITT trust members and helped put this together. To Dade County Federal Credit Union, again, for co-sponsoring, and to all of you for being here and for everything you do. We have the who's who of Miami's transportation community here, so I don't know who's operating the trains and buses or traffic signals. Hopefully it's not chaos when we go outside. Let's see. So I do want to note one small change to the program. You have the program in front of you, but we are moving our keynote speaker up because she does have to be somewhere. She is in high demand. And but before we get to her, I do want to remind everyone about our People's Choice Award. So at the end of the program, all attendees, all of you sitting here today, will have the opportunity to vote for our People's Choice Award. So I encourage you to scan the QR code that's on the back of your program, and that will take you to a page that tells you a little bit about each of our 9 finalists. So, you can be informed when it's time to vote at the end of our program. And we'll show you how to do that when we get there. So, without further ado, it is now my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Madeline Pumariega, president of Miami-Dade College. Come on up, Madeline. So, President Pumariega is a nationally respected education leader and a tireless champion for students, workforce development, and community opportunity. Under her leadership as its first woman president, Miami-Dade College continues to expand pathways to education, career growth, and economic mobility for residents across the county. That mission aligns beautifully with the spirit of today's event, because access to opportunity is deeply connected to access itself. Access to transportation, access to education, and access to the tools people need to build better lives. I also happen to serve with Madeline on the Greater Miami Chamber of Commerce. Under her strong leadership, she is the chair, and I'm a member of the board of directors. So I know that she gets not only education, but how education connects to job opportunity, to workforce development, to our economy. And all of that is connected by transportation. So we can think of no one else better to be our inaugural keynote speaker than Madeline Pumariega. Madam President, come on up.
Thanks, Javier. Javier and I go back to a while back. We were on a committee, and I want to just share this story with you to remind you that when you give of your time, it really does make a difference. We were on a committee that was considering the trolley that today we see throughout the city of Miami. And we were on a committee together, and they had left out 10th Ave and had stopped at 10th Ave and left out the medical campus and Lindsay Hopkins. And Javier and I were on this committee, and we knew this area, and we were advocating. And because we were advocating, we were successful. And today the trolley goes throughout, and you see it, and it extends out to Coral Gables. This is more than 10 years ago. We were thinking about how we could connect to communities and how we could connect Alapata to downtown and downtown to Coral Way. And part of that committee, we also designated the health district that you see today, those pillars that are painted in green and blue when you go by Jackson or UHealth, and it's called the health district. And we modeled it at the health district because we looked at other communities who had all of their hospitals and healthcare organizations around in an area and would call it a district. Because if you remember, back then it was called the Civic Center. And that's where the Metro rail stop was, the Civic Center. And we rebranded that to be the Health District. I will tell you it's probably more than a decade ago because Manny Diaz was the mayor of the city of Miami and commissioned this work group to really connect transportation to what we were seeing in the growth. And so why I say that all of this matters, it does. You may not see it immediately, but it really does. And this week is such a special week because, one, it's National Volunteer Week. And a lot of us might serve on committees that are making a difference, and we do this in our volunteer time. But at Miami-Dade College, our students last year volunteered over 80,000 hours because we look at volunteerism an extension of the classroom. And then we do this right as Earth Day. And so many of our students also volunteering in our Earth Ethic Institute. So I just wanted to kind of frame the conversation today because it does all interconnect us. I want to say to Grant, thank you for your leadership. Thank you for always amplifying the message throughout our community. You are a community unifier, and I appreciate that so much with the Miami Community News. And to Javier for your endless and tireless work in making sure that mobility matters. Javier does have a little OCD. He was so well prepared, he handed me an entire speech. And I looked at him, and I want to thank whoever was on the team that prepared this beautiful speech. And I looked at him, and I said, but I don't do speeches. And he goes, but how do you know what you have to cover? I said, I'll figure this out. One, mobility matters. Two, we're recognizing champions of mobility here today, including our mayor, Mayor Daniela Levine Cava. Mayor, where are you? We have to stop dressing alike. We show up places. Today we're in white. The mayor's munching out over there, but to our first girl mayor, congratulations. And to everyone receiving an award and being recognized today for your dedication, your commitment to our community. Without a doubt, I'll put on my chamber hat for a second, the chair of the Chamber of Commerce, as Javier mentioned. There are 4 pillars that the Chamber of Commerce focuses on every single year, and we think that they really cross our community, from small businesses to mid-sized businesses to some of our large businesses. One is workforce housing. We know how difficult it is to make sure that we have workforce housing for our teachers and our nurses and for healthcare workers throughout, and for all of you and your businesses. That's a priority and a pillar. The second one is workforce and innovation, and I'll talk a little bit about that, making sure that Miami has the talent that it needs to be able to have businesses grow and thrive here. The third is resiliency, and we just kind of talked about Earth Day, and the chamber focuses on that. And the fourth, why we're here today, is about transportation. And how do we make sure that we're creating efficient and effective transportation? There is no doubt that Miami suffers from something that New York is not suffering, and that other states and counties and cities are not suffering. People are leaving there to come here. And that is not all bad news. That is good news. But it does create the stresses that we see in our transportation, in our workforce housing, in our resiliency. So our growth adds pressure to those 4 pillars, which are incredibly important to the chamber, but they're incredibly important to our community. There is no doubt, if you're here and you're talking to the United Way, we have an ALICE population. 58% of our community is one paycheck away, one flat tire, or one car breaking down from being on the brink of an emergency disaster in their home. So we know the importance. And I share all that because I always tell our team the why. When you get clarity around the why, that's the why. Why being united, bringing together an inaugural convening like this of Mobility Matters, bringing the leadership of this community, bringing the thought leaders and the everyday practitioner matters. Because think about the ALICE family population, which many are our students. That one reliable transportation keeps them employed. That car sometimes is the carpool of an entire family. And so we have to continue as a community to look at transformative and innovative ways of connecting the dots. And that's what mobility does. Mobility connects the dots. There's policy changes we have to look at. There's no doubt that it's hard to put up sometimes those mobility connections if there's not the density. So what comes first, the chicken or the egg, the density or the mobility connections? I would say to you, good urban planning does both. Good urban planning anticipates where there may not be the density, but where we know that there's probably the analytics that the density will be there. I think those are pillars as you think about, and you do this work every day, that we think about mobility in a couple of ways. The obvious is what we're discussing, mobility related to transportation. And that requires smart urban planning, it requires good policy, and it requires investments. When one of those, it's a three-legged stool, and if one of those legs fractures, it breaks down. And you need all three of them. So I would say that as a community, and I know the mayor believes this, I know that the mayor of the city of Miami, Eileen Higgins, has been a champion around workforce housing and transportation. But we need more than county and city. We'll need state and we'll need federal on that pillar of funding. The urban planning part requires all of you, and it requires our 34 municipalities, and it requires those major employers and small businesses alike at the table. So when we're thinking about that urban planning, your voice matters. I want you to go back and think about the health district wasn't this big idea. It was an idea that surfaced from a room just like this about how could we name and elevate that district. And that trolley, when it first started, was going to be a couple of blocks. But because advocates like you said, hey, why doesn't it connect here? How do we connect it there? All of a sudden, we have a trolley today in the city of Miami that actually has the connection to lots of those areas, both density and not so dense, but those neighborhood areas. The second, when we think about mobility, I want to leave you with economic mobility. And that's the connection to workforce and talent. Ensuring that we have the talent that we need for the next generation of transportation leaders and workers, which is going to include technology, it's going to include artificial intelligence, it's going to include manufacturing and other things alike. So together working on making sure that when we think about mobility matters, we think about economic mobility and how we create those jobs for everyone to be connected economically, to see that this economy, that this growth in Miami works for them too. I will tell you that when I meet with business leaders, the number one concern that they have after workforce housing and transportation is talent. Will we have the talent to continue for Miami to grow and be successful? And I would say to you that I believe that we do. I believe our talent looks a little different than other cities and other states. And as those individuals that come new to Miami, they'll have to learn that our talent looks a little bit different. But I would say to you that we have a community that is filled with resilience, with grit, with intuitive desire to get ahead. And those are ingredients that you don't always find in the classroom. You find those because you experience our students every day in the things that you do, whether it's a teacher or an intern or around cybersecurity and alike. So I think we have to continue to build the next generation of transportation leaders and innovative leaders. Because I'll leave you with the fourth pillar. And the fourth pillar is the hardest. It's the hardest for some that see transportation and mobility in its traditional form. The way we will probably make those connections in the next decade are in things that we're not even thinking of right now. So I would challenge all of us to think innovatively, to think from an asset mindset and not a deficit mindset, So we know all of the studies of the Metro Rail, and we know where it failed and where it didn't. We know that we need a Northeast corridor connection. We know we need a connection from downtown to West Kendall. We need those connections without a doubt. And we have to continue to make sure that we focus on those connection points. But I can tell you that at the same time we were thinking of the health district and we were thinking of a trolley. Patrick, there was no way we were thinking about a train. And a train that would end up connecting from Orlando to Palm Beach to Broward to Aventura to Miami, and that it would sit right there in the heart of Miami and in downtown Miami. We are probably not having those conversations, or maybe we thought they were off decades. And here we are today with a fast train that connects us to Orlando, all the way through and to Miami. We have to continue to think innovatively in that way and look at private and public partnerships in the way we can advance, especially those last mile mobility moments. We know that where we struggle the most is that last mile. How do we get someone who took the Bright Line to that next step? And so we'll have to continue to work on those, and we'll have to be innovative as we make those connections. And I look at so many of you every day that are working on some of those strategies that will modernize the way that we make those connections. So I want to leave you with that the work that you're doing really matters. It matters every day. But the work that we do together matters more. How we use our collective intelligence in this room and beyond this room to create impact is where we will drive mobility, and we'll drive mobility in all the ways that it matters. It matters to connect people. It matters to connect families together. It matters to connect people to their jobs. But most importantly, it matters to connect us all and to have an economy that works for all of us. Thank you, and thank you for everything that you do every day. Javier's coming because he's checking to see if I hit the talking point.
You hit it. You know, I spent hours working on that
did
speech.
I hit-
Hours. And you did a much better job, ad-libbing it.
Is there anything I missed?
Just goes to show you that when she speaks from the heart and passion, and she knows her stuff because, who else does that? Just gets up here and talks.
But
So,
I also want to add something in there, and that's the underline. There's no way that we were imagining that. And imagine today, as you imagine the Bright Line. Now, when you go up and down US 1, you see families connected, you see people walking, you see people in bicycles. So I just want to tell you, keep dreaming. Keep dreaming, because dreams do become a reality, and the bigger we dream, the more we elevate all of us. So I want Meg, thank you for dreaming.
well deserved. We were asked to give just like a few seconds to somebody to come up here and do a special recognition. So a round of applause for Supervisor of Elections, Alina Garcia.
Good afternoon. Is it afternoon already?
I think we're there.
Oh, almost there. Well, Madeline is she's such a warrior for good. She's such a person that brings everybody together. She educates our youth, and she's preparing those people that are going to be the future of transportation. So I didn't want it to go without recognizing Madeline with our highest recognition, our ballot of recognition for civic excellence. And on behalf of the 1.6 million voters of Miami-Dade County, I want to say thank you, Madeline, for always being there, always being innovative, and always believing in that we're always going to have a brighter future. So thank you for all you do.
Thanks, my friend.
And I want to congratulate all the people that will be receiving awards today for the CITT. Congratulations to all of you. You all make it happen, so thank you. Thank you for all you do.
Thanks again, Madam President. Thanks again to Miami-Dade College. I've said it several times throughout my career. I'll say it again. Miami-Dade College is the most indispensable institution in Miami-Dade County. What they do transforms lives. Our community would not be the same without them. So another round of applause for Miami-Dade County. All right. Who wants to talk about awards? Who wants to congratulate our finalists and see who's won the big trophies? We will now officially open the award ceremony portion of our program. So today we are proud to recognize 9 outstanding finalists whose work reflects creativity, commitment, collaboration, and impact in the mobility and transportation space here in Miami-Dade County. Please turn your attention to our multiple screens for a video highlighting all 9 finalists across our 3 award categories. Joey, take it away.
CITT Mobility Matters Award, celebrating excellence in transportation. Mobility moves more than people. It moves opportunity. Every day in Miami-Dade, thousands of journeys connect people to jobs, education, healthcare, and to each other. Behind every route, every project, every decision, people are making it happen. For the first time, we come together to recognize them. Introducing the CITT Mobility Matters Awards, celebrating excellence in transportation. Presented by the Citizens Independent Transportation Trust, championing transparency, accountability, and the future of mobility in Miami-Dade. Honoring Trailblazers. Driving innovation and impact. Advancing progress, onward and upward. And celebrating the voice of the community, people's choice. Because mobility isn't just infrastructure, it's connection. Mobility matters, moving Miami forward.
How about that production quality, right? Hey. Round of applause for Avanza. They're our amazing marketing team. And Joey and my community engagement team at the CITT. I thought that was lovely. That's like Oscar-worthy. So before we begin recognizing finalists on stage, I want to say a brief word about the Citizens Independent Transportation Trust, or CITT. CITT was created by the voters of Miami-Dade County in 2002 to help oversee, monitor, and promote the People's Transportation Plan and the use of the half-penny sales tax dedicated to transportation improvements. At its core, the CITT exists to help ensure accountability, transparency, and public confidence as our community works to improve mobility and expand access to opportunity. As part of our mission, the CITT works to educate, engage, and inform the public through an active portfolio of community engagement initiatives, such as the Mobility Matters podcast, for which this award is named. And we just celebrated over 100 episodes of that program. So if you haven't checked it out, it's available on Miami Community News website and on our own YouTube channel. And many of you have been on, so thank you for being guests. And I also like to recognize our ambassador program. So Cheryl Mizell is in the back of the room here. We launched this innovative program a couple years ago. Yeah, round of applause for Cheryl. And I believe we also have some ambassadors here with us today, so a round of applause for them and everything they do to make the transit system better for everyone. But at this time, it is my pleasure to invite CITT Chair Mary Street, representing District 5 on the Trust, to come forward and say a few words. Mary is one of now 17 volunteer members of the Transportation Trust. I simply work for them. They really are the CITT, and they do it for free. So thank you to you and all of your colleagues here who I know you will recognize for the work you do. Mary, come on up.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Like Javier said, I'm a volunteer, and this is not my normal arena, so apologies in advance. I will try to be inspired, though, and speak from the heart and the cuff a little bit. So, of course, welcome again. Welcome again to the first annual CITT Mobility Matters Awards. Is it good? Yeah? Okay. Okay. I appreciate this. Is it good? All right, I just wanted to follow over. Okay. These awards recognize the people and organizations that are making a real measurable difference using surtax funds to expand options, improve connectivity, and make transportation work better for our community. And of course, none of that happens by accident. It takes dedication, collaboration, and a shared commitment to public service. Like everybody else, I want to thank, of course, Miami-Dade College, and I want to recognize Trust Member Murphy for his great work, the chair of our Community Engagement Committee, and his work in helping make this this event possible. So thank you. I also, again, want to say thank you to Miami Community's newspapers because for producing the podcast, helping us co-host this event, and to Dade County Federal Credit Union for their continued support. Of course, we're also honored to have Mayor Livian Cava here and all the other elected officials, public servants, and community leaders with us today. Before I hand it back to Javier, I do want to recognize the finalists. So if you're here as a finalist or representing a finalist, if you could please stand so that we can. Thank you. Their work. The finalists' work really represent the best of what can be accomplished when people are committed to improving transportation, serving the public, and applying vision. Thank you too, as Javier mentioned, we have a number of the CITT members here today, of course, volunteering and supporting. So thank you, everyone, for being a part of this, for supporting the work, and for helping to move Miami-Dade forward.
Thank you, Mary, and please stay on the stage. At this time, I'd actually also like to invite our CITT officers up on the stage to formally recognize our finalists. So first, Vice Chair Peggy Bell. Second Vice Chair Meg Daly. Our Community Engagement Chair Miguel Murphy. Come on up. We're going to put them to work for $0 an hour. Appreciate it. And Monica, if you could come on up as well and help hand these over. Okay. So we will now recognize the finalists in each category. As I announce each category, I ask the finalists to please come forward to the stage to receive a certificate of recognition and pose for a photo. So first, the finalists for the Trailblazer Award. Alfredo Quintera with the town of Cutler Bay. Come on up. This is going to be a bit like a graduation. I'm just going to say names, you come on up, you grab your certificate, and a quick picture. Okay? Kathy Dos Santos with Transit Alliance Miami. Kathy. And the Underline, represented by Friends of the Underline. Please come forward. Euless, come on up. We're going to take a picture with this group. We'll then repeat this with the next two categories. So just give us a minute for our photo.
It was a surprise. I believe my ex-mayor, Peggy Bell, nominated me through my town manager, Rafael Casals. And when I got the news, I was very honored to receive that news. The town of Cutler Bay is the youngest municipality in Miami-Dade County. It's about 20 years old. And the residents of Cutler Bay had a clear vision of what they wanted for their community. I became part of the team in 2012. And one of the things that we developed was the Complete Streets Master Plan, in which we are improving all our main roads, all our collector and arterial roads to be complete streets, to improve mobility for all modes of travel, which are pedestrian, bicycle, transit, and vehicular, to improve the capacity as well and make the streets safer for all our residents, independent of their age or their ability to walk.
It's incredibly exciting. I mean, the work that we do is for Miamians, is to build the future that we believe is going to carry us forward and is going to make the city livable, affordable, and truly a wonderful place to live for people across Miami-Dade County and beyond, South Florida, I would say. So it's an incredible honor to have that work be recognized by the Citizens Independent Transportation Trust. Transit Alliance Miami is a 501c3 nonprofit made up of strategists, advocates, organizers, neighbors, transit riders, all advocating for quality transit in Miami, Florida. We do this work through 3 interconnected pillars: data and research, community engagement, and advocacy for planning and policy. The work that I get to do through Transit Alliance, I think what I oftentimes hear, and sort of like to echo other folks, it's the passion. And I think I'm incredibly honored to have that passion for my community recognized. It is a privilege to be able to do what I do with Transit Alliance, And ultimately, I think it's other folks resonating with the vision that we get to set forward of a Miami built for people, not cars, and sort of centering that people, community. So it's so exciting to have this opportunity, especially at the first of these awards. And I hope it really sets the tone moving forward to who we center in our conversations around mobility.
The Underline is a 10-mile multimodal corridor and linear park below Metro Rail from downtown to Dadeland. We work in partnership with Miami-Dade County and a number of municipalities to build out this corridor. Right now we have 5 of 10 miles built, and the full 10 miles will be completed by the end of this calendar year, 2026. We're so honored to be nominated for the Trailblazer Award, which I think really tells our story of innovation, great new ideas to catalyze how we move in Miami-Dade County, particularly giving people ways to safely walk and bike and connect to Metro Rail.
We are so fortunate because we are led by our visionary, Meg Daly. She's the founder of the organization. And then we also have Euless, who's the CEO. And together they've really have put that trailblazing mentality into our whole team. And that's why we've been able to get from 5 miles, and we'll get to 10 by the end of this year.
Next up, I've lost my notes, so we're going to try to do this by memory, is the Innovation and Impact Award. So we're going to ask our finalists to come on up here for pictures and for their certificate. So we have Metro Express, represented by the Department of Transportation and Public Works, and Mayor Levine Cava, come on up. Yes, we want you here. And where's Director Miller? She's still here? Come on up, Stacy. All right, who else do we have? Yes. You know it, you've written it. Let's give a round of applause to Brightline, another one of our finalists. And by the way, Brightline brought their entire team and ridership here today, so, you know, I have a feeling they are lead contender for the People's Choice. It's a popularity contest. All right. And finally, the Golden Glades Multimodal Transportation Facility, represented by FDOT, Florida Department of Transportation, District 6. Come on up. All right. All right. Shimmy, shimmy. Don't fall off. We're all good.
We are so excited to have been nominated for Metro Express, which is our first bus rapid transit along the Transitway in South County, taking you all the way from Florida cities to Dadeland South. It's a 20-mile, fully electric transitway with 14 iconic stations. It's gorgeous, fully electric, 60-foot articulated buses. We are moving over 10,000 people a day on our new service, and we're very excited to be nominated. It is our first bus rapid transit here in Miami-Dade County for DTPW. As I said, we're moving about 10,000 individuals per day, a little over 10,000 per day. It is a rail-like experience, but on a 60-foot fully articulated bus. So we don't have bus shelters, we have stations. They are gorgeous, they have air conditioning, they have USB ports, there's water fountains. This is a very different experience. It's something that we're very proud of. We have been working on this for a very long time with all of our partners, including CITT, who helped us fund this project, as well as the Florida Department of Transportation and the Federal Transit Administration. There are so many unique features that just elevate this. We have bus priority and preemption. We have rail gate arms at the intersections to allow our buses to move through the intersections without interference from cross-street traffic, so it is very innovative.
Brightline is the first privately owned and developed and operated intercity passenger rail in the United States since Henry Flagler did it 125 years ago. We're running between Miami and Orlando. We run about hourly service in South Florida and up to Central Florida. Last March we carried about 340,000 passengers. So the business continues to grow, double-digit growth year over year, and we're very excited about this really important piece of infrastructure that's not only helping people with mobility and providing them with an alternative to traveling up and down around South Florida and up and down to Orlando, but it's also catalyzing, I think, a lot of conversations about mobility in the region. I think it's very exciting. I think that the CITT as a body does an incredible job of supporting mobility in the region. They're great stewards of the penny tax. They've been very focused on increasing mobility. They've been big supporters of Brightline and big supporters of transit in general. And I think awards like this, win or lose, are a great way to recognize people who are working hard in that space to make things happen. As the first intercity passenger rail in the United States, I think that that is obviously, I suppose you would consider that innovation. Although we're using, technology that's a couple of 100 years old, it is the first time it's been done in this country in a long time. We run state-of-the-art trains up and down the corridor. I think we've really elevated the experience, and we've built an experience around the commodity of transportation, and I think that makes us really unique.
It feels great, and this project is being a great project. It's a transformational project for the north part of Miami-Dade County, and it feels great to be recognized for this project. Golden Glade Multimodal Facility is transform a park and ride in the north part of Miami-Dade County into a great multimodal facility with a parking garage that has 6 levels, 14 bus bays, 4 intercity bus bays, and a connection to the Tri-Rail, a pedestrian connection to the Tri-Rail for all users of transportation. It's greatly used and is serving every mode of transportation.
All right, our last category, well, our second to last category, is the Onward and Upward Award, recognizing those service providers that have shown great improvement in expanding or improving transit. So, our 3 finalists are the City of Coral Gables. Were they able to make it? City of Miami, I know they're here. City of Miami, come on up. Can you give that to me? And finally, the City of Opa-locka. Come on up, City of Opa-locka, here to the left.
I think this is very exciting. The CITT hasn't done anything quite like this before. We had the Mobility Matters podcast that Javier, our director, runs all the time, and this is sort of an extension of that, where we're recognizing innovation and impact in the transit space in our community, and it's really exciting. We have the same partner, community newspapers and Miami-Dade College through our community engagement, our community engagement chair. It was really hard to make a decision because they had, we have both organizations and individuals and making different kinds of impacts and different levels of impact, but they all had vision and they're all making a real difference in the community. So I guess it was hard to make a distinction which one to award it to, but I'm glad to see them all here. I think it's exciting to bring everyone together and formally recognize them, and it's nice to be able to do that as a CITT because years ago we made a commitment to sort of being more public facing and have more community engagement, and this is a facet of that same initiative. I think that's really great.
Before we announce our winners, I do want to thank the award selection committee for the difficult task of choosing a winner in each category from such an impressive and deserving group of finalists. That was no easy assignment. So a round of applause for the selection committee. I won't out any of them in case anyone's disappointed with the results. So, to reveal the winner of the Trailblazer Award, I would like to invite First Vice Chair Peggy Bell to open the envelope. This is very much like the Oscars, you all. So, round of applause for Peggy Bell. Go Peggy. Peggy, who do we have? Drum roll, please, everyone. Oh, we made this very difficult. All right. Just like to make you wait, really. All right.
The Trailblazer Award goes to the Underline.
Woo! The Underline. Okay. So congratulations to Friends of the Underline, recipient of the Trailblazer Award. I'd like to invite Friends of the Underline and team to come forward to accept it. I also invite key project partners, obviously the Department of Transportation and Public Works, Madam Mayor, you need to come on up here again. The cities of Miami and Coral Gables are welcome to come up to the stage. And I believe Euless will give you the opportunity of maybe saying a few words. All right? There's your word. Let's go ahead and put that down, say a few words, and then we'll take some pictures.
Thank you. We appreciate this award. I would like really the entire team that has anything to do with delivering the Underline. So it's DTBW, all of our staff. Please join us here on stage. Don't be shy. Thank Director Miller. So I think everybody understands how important the Underline is. It's a true mobility corridor that connects communities, and it's something that is more than just a trail. It is an opportunity for us to really work together and accomplish something that came from one person's idea and one crazy idea that that person had, and worked along all of the county, elected officials at the state level, as well as the local municipalities to deliver what will be a 10-mile, 120-acre linear park and urban trail that connects Miami through activations. And so we are very appreciative of this award. I think the fact that we have so many partners that have made this the opportunity to make it come to fruition, and with the leadership of Mayor Cava, this is really a true testament to the fact that the Underline's a jewel for here for Miami-Dade County. So we should be appreciative of it. It is the #1 urban reuse development project in the country. People come to us to ask, how did you do this? And everybody points to Meg. But it starts there, but we cannot do this without all of the support from all of the agencies and the departments in the county and our state partners as well as our federal partners. So thank you, Javier, for this award. We really appreciate it.
Is everyone up here that needs to be up here? Patrice is here? Where's Patrice? Patrice. She had to leave. Okay, we're good. All right, another round of applause for the Underline. That's right, we'll leave the podium there. Another drum roll, innovation and impact. Who will it be?
The Innovation and Impact Award goes to, drum roll, everyone please, Metro Express. Woo!
Can we get a choo-choo? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, check out the video. It's the Oscars, baby. So, congratulations again to Metro Express, recipient of this award. Madam Mayor, Department of Transportation and Public Works, please come forward to accept the award and say a few words. We're making you exercise today, Madam Mayor. At some point, we'll have you move the podium for us, too. Congratulations again. Would you like the podium or? Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for doing this whole award ceremony. First annual.
Maybe the last.
Well, it certainly is a great, great event, and it's wonderful that CITT is calling attention to all of the important work that's being done in our community. And thank you so very much for the great honor for our Metro Express, the longest fully electric bus rapid transit system. They always tell me in the nation, and I always say in the world, because I have not heard anyone come forward and challenge me on that assumption. I think we got there first. Thank you so much to you, Javier, to your chairwoman, Mary Street, and to all of the board members, to all the volunteers who make our transit system work, and to the ambassadors program under the leadership of Cheryl, who used to be my communications director back in the day. Some of you have heard that at Catalyst Miami, go figure. But this project is really special, and I think very deserving of this award, because it has truly changed the way people get around in South Dade. and therefore has made our entire transit system better. And we are already seeing the results in terms of ridership on this route and saving time. We've heard anecdotally people saying as much as 40 minutes, which is each way. Think about that. That is transformational. Of course, it goes through some of our great cities. It starts in Florida City, Homestead, Cutler Bay, Palmetto Bay, Pinecrest all benefit directly, and everybody else who interfaces. It's a great thing. And even our great employers, we have Baptist Health that has shown how many of their employees benefit, and they've given testimonials about it. So, and we're animating business along the corridor, not just housing because of the RTZ and densification along the corridor, but also businesses that clearly benefit from people being able to access them more readily on this great system. We are celebrating Earth Day. So it is a great day to celebrate transit. And maybe you've seen the pictures, how many cars one bus is equivalent to in terms of exhaust and so on. And in this case, it's a long articulated bus, beautiful. By the way, it's a new Flyer bus, not that other bus. And these buses are really performing beautifully. So we're really excited about that. Now, here you see the people that actually make it happen every day. Mr. Alex Barrios, he's the one who has constructed it. Okay, so let's give him a special round. I don't know all the other roles here, so maybe you could just identify all the people who've played such a critical role. But truthfully, it is our pride and joy, and we're so grateful for this recognition. So could I just pass for a moment to, all right, you know Stacy, she is our fabulous director and I guess CEO also, she has that title. But she just knows transportation, right? I mean, nobody knows transportation more than Stacy. We're so fortunate that you're leading our department. Here you go. She just passed her 1 year mark.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We are truly grateful and thankful. So Alex has been part of our construction team, as has Herman, who has been managing the contracts and all of the wonderful things that happen afterwards. He makes sure that we're successfully managing the events and activities associated with getting this to closure. Maria, who's standing behind me slightly, who is our new Chief of External Affairs, made sure we had a fantastic marketing plan for the deployment of this new service. Right behind me is Joel, who is part of our actual bus service itself. So he ensures that we have great operators, and we are on time and moving over 10,000 people a day on the service on the Transitway. And Josiel, who is our Deputy Director of Project Delivery as well. So this is just a small number of the over 4,000 employees who make transportation happen every day, and many of those are fully engaged in the Transitway. So thank you very much.
Let me add that this project would not have been possible without the support of CITT. So thank you so very much.
And our state and federal partners, right? So this is what collaboration looks like. Absolutely. So when we work together, great things happen. So one final round of applause for our winner. Thank you. Told you he's great. Thank you. All right, thank you all very much. Now, before we move on to the next award, in honor of the launch of Metro Express, we have placed a special commemorative edition of a daily transit pass under one seat at each table. So look under your seat to see if you've won. It is good for 1 day of free transit so that you can try out Metro Express or other parts of our incredible transit system. Whoop, whoop! I mean, people have found it. So if you're not going to use it, please give it to someone who will. So if you already have a monthly pass, find someone. There he goes. Everyone's a winner here today, folks. But listen, with or without that pass, really, try Metro Express. It's saving people a ton of money and connecting them to opportunity. All right. And now I would like to invite Community Engagement Committee Chair Miguel Murphy to open the envelope and reveal the winner of the Onward and Upward Award. Whoop, whoop. Oh, here we go. All right, y'all know the drill. Get that drum rolling.
All right, the Onward and Upward Award goes to the City of Miami.
Right. Congratulations to the Magic City. Come on up. You are the champions, my friend. Did the whole city come? Oh my gosh. Come on. You fit. Get down in here. All right. Which of you will be doing the honors if you'd like to say something?
Is it afternoon yet? Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, and this is the village that it takes to be successful. Thank you, everyone, for the recognition. It wasn't that long ago that we were on the other side of this coin, and really it's been a great effort on all of our parts. We not only operate the second largest transit operation in the county, but we also have a substantial capital program that takes advantage of these monies that we put into good use, from roadway infrastructure projects to improvements on our transit facilities. And it really is a pleasure to work with this group every day and take full advantage of the resources that CITT provides the city to make mobility and transit operations great for the entire city. We are in the midst of revisiting our entire transit operations as far as our trolley master plan. We're in the middle of a public information engagement, so we welcome any of you that have any interest or any vested desire to provide us that feedback so that we can make our operations better for the whole community. So thank you again.
All right. Thank you, Juvenal. Now about 42 pictures, and then we'll move on. City of Miami! All right, another round of applause for the City of Miami. And now we turn to the People's Choice Award, which gives all of you the opportunity to help select one more winner from among today's 9 finalists. Once voting opens, everyone will have 2 minutes, 2 minutos, to vote for your top 3 choices in ranked order. A few quick reminders: you may only vote once, no cheating, please. Please be sure to submit your top 3 choices in ranked order. So you will be moving the nominees up on your mobile phones in the order of preference. You got the QR code on the screen, or menti.com, and put in that number. And everyone's off to the races. Look at this. City of Miami currently in the lead, but still many respondents waiting to vote. We still have votes coming in, so we're going to close this in about 20 seconds. Da-na-na, na-na-na-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Dun, 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 dun. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close the voting. That looked like a tie. All right. Now Joey is going to put up the results on the screen, which I won't be able to read from here. And the winner of the People's Choice Award of 2026 is the Underline. Round of applause. If you had only brought one more person, guys, one more person, could have been yours next year. So yeah, Underline, come on up and accept your award. I know. Stacy, come on up. Hold on, guys. Yeah, Meg. Hello. Anyone associated with the Underline? Stacy. She's coming. Okay. And move up. And shimmy to the left. Thank you, Steven Spielberg. Appreciate the direction again.
It's really a testament to how impactful the project has been over the years. It started off with an idea and a vision over 12 years ago, and that idea has morphed into what you see here today, which is a beautiful mobility corridor that truly provides people ways to get around by biking, walking, and providing access to transit. And so it's a community-led project, and the fact that we won 2 awards today is really indicative of the importance of the project to Miami and Miami-Dade County. These types of projects are never easy. One, they're typically complex, and it takes a lot of energy to get consensus from every single level of government as well as the community. And without that hard work and without the buy-in from our elected officials along the corridor, from the state Department of Transportation as well as the federal government, this project would have never have happened. But it takes leadership and strong leadership and a strong vision. And our founder had that 12 years ago and worked with multiple leaders along the corridor to be able to deliver this most complex project. And so you have to have tenacity, you have to have grit to be able to take a bold vision, transforming an underutilized space into something to what it is today. And the fact that we're an example of the best way to redevelop an area and turn it into something that's very useful. Many municipalities throughout Miami-Dade County, the state, as well as across the country, look to this project as an example of how to take that bold vision and deliver it in an effective way.
It's amazing feeling to just be able to run 13 routes within the city of Miami and do it with the staff that I have is amazing. To be recognized for it is even amazing.
For us, it's truly an honor, and getting that support and recognition really gives us something to be grateful for, the effort that we put in every day. We were looking at basically being frozen on our funds a few years ago, and we went through an extensive audit and reconciliation process with the county. We put together a fantastic plan, and once those funds came back to the city, we were able to put it to use immediately. We've built several projects already that were in the pipeline and that were construction ready, and at the same time, we've been able to reinitiate our trolley master plan update.
Well, honestly, we work from each other. We build from each other. Sometimes I read out to Miami Beach gives me good feedback, Coral Gables, so we actually piggyback off each other.
Folks, as we close today's program, I want to once again congratulate all of our finalists and awardees. Your work represents the very best of what can happen when public agencies, civic organizations, advocates, institutions, and community partners come together in pursuit of a more connected and more accessible Miami-Dade County. I also want to ask our award winners to please stick around after the program for additional photos and a short interview, because we haven't taken enough photos today. Let me once again thank our partners, Miami's Community News, Dade County Federal Credit Union, and Miami-Dade College. We are grateful for your support and collaboration in making this inaugural program possible. And I want to offer special thanks to the incredible teams at MCN, Miami-Dade College, and CITT who worked so hard to bring this event together. Special shout outs to Grant Miller, Miguel Murphy and his crew at Miami-Dade, Alejandro Perez and his team at Avanza, and the CITT Community Engagement Office, Carla, Joey, Cheryl, and really, folks, let's save the biggest round of applause for Carla Damian, our Chief Community Engagement Officer, who hasn't slept in weeks, but she's still standing. And she still has commotion next week. I'd also like to take a brief point of personal privilege to recognize all administrative professionals on this Administrative Professionals Day, including our very own Naya Lake and Carmen de Cruz, who are probably outside, but let's give them a round of applause. And finally, thank you all for being here. We wish you a happy Earth Day, and thank you for supporting a stronger mobility future for Miami-Dade County.